Yo, what's going on, lovely ladies and gentlemen? It's Jay. I'm recording this from the webcam of my laptop because, in all honesty, I do not have the patience to set this thing up and then sync up the audio and sync up the video and all that good jazz. But I haven't made a video where I just rant or talk about things aimlessly for some time, and I wanted to do that because I think the last time I did that was when I got this microphone, which was sometime over the summer, and then I used it sporadically. I think I actually used this microphone a good amount, but because my god awful laptop did not have a USB A input, there was always some problem with the way that the input was synced or recorded or whatever. So none of the audio was usable. There's probably like 4 or 5 like hours worth of podcasts which are completely unusable now just because they were recorded through some USB dongle that didn't, I guess, meet the standards of whatever this mic requires. But it is the Friday before Dead Week, which means that finals are in roughly 9 days if I include both this weekend, so tomorrow Saturday and the day after Sunday, and then next weekend. Which, like, in theory should be good because it means I have a whole 9 empty days to study for finals. And out of like the 3 classes of mine that actually have finals, I'm fully caught up in one of them. The other 2 of which, one I am completely like 15 lectures behind, each of which is an hour and a half, and that's its own can of worms that I need to figure out soon. But the other class is EE16B, and I like know roughly what's happening, but it is basically just a glorified math class, so I need to go and catch up on like all of the math stuff, I guess. So that is classes, but the inherent problem with, I guess, the difference between me and the standard UC Berkeley student is that the standard UC Berkeley student is probably caught up on things. So to them, Dead Week, a week with no classes, no lectures, no required assignments, nothing, right? Like the university has basically set aside this time and said, like, professors, lecturers, GSIs, whatever, you cannot enforce anything to be due this week. Like, we are setting aside an entire week in every semester such that the students can catch up on everything and be caught up for finals. If you've already caught up, if you've continued to stay on top of your work throughout the semester, then this is no different for you, right? Like, it is just a week for you to relax, you to do nothing. And that is how a lot of people treat it. If you want to make plans or if you want to do anything, everyone says, oh, yo, let's just do it during Dead Week. Because to most people, Dead Week is the time to do those things. And that's not the case for me. I have a huge club thing tomorrow, like for, I guess, basically the entirety of the daytime. Sunday evening, there's a party I have to go to in SF, which is, again, another situation I have to figure out because that'll be like basically from 5 p.m. onwards. I have to deal with that. Or not deal with that. I'm excited for it, but still. Tuesday, entire evening is another club thing. I think Thursday, entire evening is another club thing. And I think Wednesday, there's like a team thing that I need to do. So there are multiple things that, like, suddenly this 9 days that was supposed to be for me to study and catch up on things has turned into like 8, or like, yeah, 8, 7.5, 6, continuously going down. So I need to really get my shit together, which like will happen. But it's just always looking forward is not the bestest of situations, just because I'm not that great with time management in regards to planning specifically Dead Week, I guess, because if it's a quiz or if it's like a midterm or something like that, I'm able to move mountains and make sure my schedule accommodates for everything. But when it comes to Dead Week, I guess just because the magnitude of the time I have, like 9 entire days, puts things into the opposite perspective where, like, I have so much other time. Like, why would I not, like, get to know this person better, get to spend this much time with, like, a club person that I've not been able to spend that much time with? Whatever. That's just how it is. Yeah, I think I have so many random things to talk about. I think a lot of them would benefit from visual aids. I think the first one is Strauss milk, Strauss organic milk. There'll probably be a clip here if I end up putting it here. I bought this. It is, I know, okay, first of all, it's a very bougie milk because I know that everywhere nice that I go to, like if it's a nice boba place or a nice milkshake place or whatever, if it's a nice place, they say like made with Strauss organic milk, whatever. right? So I've always held Strauss at this extremely high regard because number one, it's organic, and number two, it comes primarily in whole fat. So it is, I guess to me, it has always been associated with the highest of quality, the highest of taste, and all that. And I don't know, my family really cares about like organic milk and all that stuff, but my parents like a very specific type because they like coffee a lot and milk matters a lot for what coffee you drink and that sort of stuff. So we kind of stick to a few specific brands and in a few specific places. But I'm on grocery shopping with my roommates, and it's a dude. First of all, the Strauss bottle is bougie as hell. It's a glass bottle, and it is a heavy glass bottle because I think it's 16 ounces. Don't quote me on that. I don't know how much a gallon is or whatever the hell. I don't know if it's a good deal or not, because if you go by the math, something seems definitely off considering that it's organic. Because I think, so the actual milk itself costs $4, but it's in a glass bottle, which requires a $2 deposit. So you end up paying like $6 if you don't come with a bottle, which is stupid as hell. So they basically just have like $2 of my dollars until I come and give them like my glass bottle back. But yeah, that milk is dog shit. It tastes like water, and it's cream topped. I don't want that shit. I think a value prop of it is that it's not properly pasteurized, or maybe it is properly pasteurized and it's not as properly pasteurized. But that shit is bad. I don't like it. I like milk a lot, and I'm very picky about my milk as well. And I think it's one of my like soapbox moments when I talk to people about like, you need to have this type of milk, you need to drink this much. Like I don't understand people that drink like milk alternatives unless you have like a lactose problem or like something requires it. Like people that voluntarily are just like, no, I would rather drink like oat water than milk. I don't understand it. But again, that's just how I view things, and I really like milk, so obviously I'm going to have that point of view. But yeah, Strauss is not it. First of all, with the exception of how sick this bottle looks in my fridge, there is nothing going for it. The milk tastes like water, and I got whole fat milk, right? So you can't even make the argument that like, yo, you got some low fat bullshit, so it just tastes like water anyways because like all the fat is removed. No, I got whole fat milk. It's the red bottle. It is the whole milk, which I guess is technically still like 4% fat, but whatever. It is bad. And because it's like cream top, like the top is not like, as soon as I bought it, like the top was hard and you have to like break it. I don't know how you were supposed to. I used a spoon and then the spoon went into there because I thought it would be a solid chunk of cream, not just like a layer of cream. So there's a spoon stuck somewhere in my bottle that I literally cannot remove. But yeah, and now that shit, like the cream is just like floating around in my milk. Like, you know, when you leave Phil's or when you leave any, or no, I guess specifically Phil's because they use heavy whipping cream. If you leave that stuff out for like a day or so, like you'll see that crap floating, especially if you leave it in the fridge. And then when you drink it, you're like chewing on this gross ass shit. Yeah, that's how it is. That's how every cup of milk from this thing is. It is not something I enjoy. But it's expensive. So I can't just be like, screw it, I'm going to just go back and buy like my normal milk from Trader Joe's. No, I have to stick it through. I have to finish this goddamn milk. I don't even know what the expiration date is. So that's another thing I have to consider. I would not recommend Strauss. I still think Organic Valley 2% is like, there was this one time I got it. I swear to God, that is probably some of the best milk I've ever had in my life. But yeah, even Trader Joe's non-organic whole fat milk is fire. And that's just generally what I get because my milk consumption schedule, if that is a thing, is not standard in that I will not, there will be some days where I drink 3 cups of milk in a day, and then there will be 2 days where I drink none, and then I'll drink 5 cups of milk in a day. It is whatever I am in the demand for, whatever my body is demanding at that time. So I cannot tell in advance. I don't know where that tangent came from, but that is that. I think one of the final things I'll talk about that will not require a visual aid is I have the new MacBook Pro 16-inch. And hopefully this webcam is better than my previous webcam, and it's not that stark of a difference from my DSLR. Actually, no, I hope there's a stark difference because I spent a lot on that DSLR. But yeah, I on this on this laptop, there's an SD card slot, right? That is like one of the biggest things that like, they brought MagSafe back, they brought that stuff back. But the two main things is that there's an HDMI port and there's an SD card slot. In terms of like the actual physical build, I'm not talking about the specifications or anything like that. The stupid SD card slot doesn't work with Canon cameras. I don't understand it. It's so goddamn stupid. I still have to carry around the stupid dongle to see if any of my footage was good or not. I don't know. I don't care. Or no, I do care. I care heavily. I'm very annoyed at Apple for making such an expensive laptop with such amazing specs without a working SD card slot. And the worst part is I like looked it up. You will not find anything for many pages on Google, but one of my friends, Sani, came across an article because I was complaining about it to him specifically, and he was like, "Oh, whatever, this probably happened," and it like worked for a few minutes here or there. So I was like, "Oh, like yeah, maybe I was inserting the card wrong, something or the other." But it was like people have reported their like 14-inch and 16-inch laptops have a faulty SD card reader. So I didn't read the article until today, and turns out people are complaining specifically with Fujifilm files. I don't know what their file type is. That does not get recognized by the laptop. Just if those files are on the SD card, not like the SD card is formatted in that type or whatever. And that it does recognize an icon, which lines up exactly with what I had to do because I have one of my friend's SD cards because we took club photos and I uploaded the photos and they were from a Nikon. And that worked perfectly fine. So I think that's why I thought my SD card reader was fine. But yeah, none of my SD cards work. Like none of these bad boys actually get recognized by the laptop, which is so stupid because now I still need to carry around a dongle. And turns out it's not a physical thing. Like people got their laptops replaced and they still have the same exact issue. Turns out it's not an upgradable feature. Like you can't just upgrade to macOS Monterey, like the next version or whatever, because that still doesn't solve the issue. So we are kind of in a stalemate in regards to hoping that whatever the hell position we're in with the new MacBooks recognizing SD cards, yeah, I hope they figure that out. But yeah, this has been a random rant. This has been the Kudva podcast 2. I don't know. There's another chrootcast, I think. But it was like, I don't know. We talked about the Apple Store for like 12 minutes, which I guess if you listen to me talk about milk for like 5 isn't that big of a deal, but I don't know. It seemed a bit excessive even for the three of us talking about something. But maybe one day I'll have the patience to edit that and upload that because Sani yells into the microphone. So almost all of it would just have to be me like re-listening to the whole thing like painfully second by second to make sure Sani isn't clipping or like destroying anyone's eardrums. But yeah, thank you. I hope you're having a lovely weekend, lovely day, lovely whatever, whenever you're watching this. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Goodbye. Like and subscribe. Please, you should do that. Like and subscribe.